Hi, I'm Robert Perkins, the immigration professor, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about my attorney mentoring program that I had, which is actually some of the most rewarding work that I've done, which is mentoring attorneys in the area of immigration law in the various areas, seeing them go from having a lot of anxiety about their first cases to really mastering the topic. And one thing I want to emphasize is that I try to do this in all areas of immigration, from business visas to perm labor certification, to deportation, to cancellation of removal, family-based immigration, complicated cases involving adoption, stepchildren, Child Status Protection Act, investment-based immigration, and pretty much all areas of immigration law. It's tough to practice this area, especially when you haven't done it for 5 years or more. It's very difficult, and sort of landing your first clients and impressing them, making them comfortable with you and comfortable with your knowledge can be really hard when you first start out. Some of the things that we do for that I'll discuss in a minute. My website is www.immigration-professor.com. I have a lot of informational videos on the site. It's catered more towards the clients than other attorneys, but I think they're helpful for the clients as well. Or please call me about attorney mentoring at my office at 310-384-0200. Besides teaching, I think, about specific visas or specific areas, as I've said, I think there are some other skills that attorneys need that are really important, not only in this area, but they apply to other areas as well. I mean, one is legal research. We all learn legal research and writing in law school, but how do you do it in immigration cases? There's regulations, there's statutes, but there's also these memos that immigration puts out. There's operating instructions, there's manuals, there's other places, so it's important to know how to do legal research and how to find these things. Even if you're not a legal research attorney, it's important to know about these sources, because if you have attorneys or paralegals working under you, you at least need to know what they're doing and where they're getting their information. Another really important thing is writing and editing. One of the things we do is to split cases with the people that we mentor. Either it's a case that we've brought in, and it might be in a city where we're working with somebody, in which case we've brought in the lead and I'll mentor that person through the case so that till they get enough knowledge to be able to do it on their own. Or it could be a case that they've brought in that they simply need help on. And it could even be help landing the case. One of the things that we do in our mentoring is video conferencing, where I'll sit in with the attorney when they intake the case with a new client. So if they can't answer the client's question about something, I'll be able to answer that question. And so that everybody is happy and everybody looks good, and we can get the case together and do it and make the client happy so that they bring more referrals to the attorney that I'm mentoring. Immigration law courses in law school, unfortunately, what they do is they focus on constitutionality. What constitutional powers does the government have to deport people? What are the constitutional defenses? They have other information a lot of times, but that's their focus. Those are great topics, and when I'm litigating, I love to fall back on the constitutional defenses, and they're important things to mentor people in. But immigration law is very broad. For example, if you're doing investment-based immigration, you need to know some basic corporate and tax law issues. You don't have to know all the details, but you need to know enough to speak intelligently about them, and also to know when you don't know enough, to know when you need to bring in a tax professional or a corporate attorney to structure things for an investor. Deportation cases can also be complicated. Again, these are not things that they teach in a law school immigration course. They involve the intersection of immigration law and criminal law. In a deportation case, we're often looking up state criminal statutes to figure out how they mesh with immigration law. And that's a complicated skill to develop. One of the things I really like is mentoring people so that they can acquire those skills. And the goal that I have is basically to work myself out of a job so that the person is able eventually to do the cases on their own. That to me is the most rewarding thing. I've mentored several young attorneys, some of whom are on my website, in immigration law. To really be able to see them develop their own practice and do really well is something that's incredibly rewarding for me as a teacher and mentor. Again, all my videos and information about my practice is on my website, www.immigration-professor.com. Feel free also to call me about our mentoring program. Our office number is 310-384-0200. We have offices in California and Illinois, but I do mentor attorneys all across the United States through video conferencing and in-person meetings from time to time and telephone. However works. I really enjoy this, and I hope to help you in your cases soon. Thank you so much.